Hello, welcome to the Pinfall podcast, where Elizabeth's camera is kind of dirty.
I
Nada.
feel like every time we do like the waiting screen and I play the music, every single time Nia Jax's song comes up. Every time.
I don't care for that.
Yeah. Just like how Nia Jax always comes up in every episode of Raw or SmackDown.
No, no, it was fine. The original came back.
Was it though?
I don't
Every match has
know. I
been
mean,
awful.
it's not Naya's fault though.
It's not one singular person's fault. So, SmackDown, we actually have a lot of stuff happening next week. Toxic Big E, welcome back. It's been so long. Um, we had, or next week we are getting Apollo versus Big E for the title. We're getting, Daniel Bryan versus Roman for the title, where if Daniel Bryan loses, he can never come back to SmackDown.
Was Daniel like telling us, not to quote the tweet that I made for this to promote the show? Like, I feel like he was saying something when he was like, yeah, my contract's up pretty soon. And I was like, oh, Daniel, we'll miss you so much when you leave.
Maybe
Please
he's
don't
trying to
go.
swerve us. He's been in the business long enough to know that cues like
Sure.
that can spoil stuff.
And do you think he'll go to Raw maybe? Like as the swerve?
Maybe he'll go to NXT as like a manager.
Raw could use him.
Yeah, I guess. Um, Raw has so much talent though that they don't use already.
Yeah.
Um, but what we had today was Cesaro formally challenging Roman. We had, before the show even happened, we had Bianca and Bailey announced for Backlash. Um, Kevin Owens challenged Apollo for the title, and that match happened today for some reason.
I guess it was just for like the sake of having Sami around.
But like, what did Sami add?
I don't know. I really don't.
We got Pat again. Pat was great.
Yeah, we're gonna get Pat all the time now. Thank God for that.
Like overall, this was just a meh episode. Like,
One of those episodes where it could have been worse,
yeah,
but it could have been
this was just
better.
a build up episode. You know, like we're building up to everything next week.
Which is weird because normally they do that like before pay-per-views, like the match or the episode before a pay-per-view, like they'll build that up.
I guess they recognize that it's gonna be a few weeks before Backlash, so they got to do something.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Because I was thinking about that, and I was like, "Shit! Like we've actually got like a minute now until the next pay per view."
And one of those things they're gonna do is kick Daniel Bryan off of SmackDown.
Upsetting.
You know, I had a thought that like maybe Roman's predictions slash spoilers will always come true, but this one will be a twist. Like he'll never see Daniel Bryan on SmackDown again because Roman's gonna be out. Roman's gonna go to Raw.
I would not want that. I really feel like after like the match next week, they're just gonna be like, and also, just in case anybody was wondering, we're gonna do another draft.
Oh yeah. Oh, Superstar Shakeup's supposed to happen soon.
I guess they're doing one earlier this year, which means we might get two in 1 year. The last time they did it this early, they did another one in the fall.
Yeah, because they always do one in October, right?
I don't always do it, but when they've done it, it's usually around that time of the year.
So news.
Let's get into the news because I'm fucking struggling today.
Yeah, I know you are.
Elizabeth doesn't feel very good, and every once in a while, if I get a faraway stare in my eye, that's because I'm working through pain.
Mets won today.
Yankees have. Oh god, I'm throwing everything. Yankees are in a position where it looks like still the bottom of the ninth. It's been the bottom of the ninth for a while now. Just a little stressful. All right. So we'll talk about the obvious shit second. Everything else that we're going to talk about, because I think we all know what we're going to be talking about today.
Yep.
Let's get through some of the quicker pieces of news, which is one, Megan Morant is a new the word is signing. I don't know, she's a new backstage interviewer. She looks like every other fucking backstage interviewer. Like, if you were to put her, Sarah, and Mackenzie, to be fair, I would notice Mackenzie automatically because I'm in love with her. But if you were to put the three of them in like a lineup, I'd be like, it's the same blonde lady.
At least they mixed it up on Raw with Kevin.
But also, he's blonde. Besides Kayla, need a brunette somewhere else in the fucking brand or in the company. It isn't Stephanie.
Alicia on NXT. She's not brunette.
Alicia's not an interviewer.
She is if you count their YouTube channel.
But yeah, so we've got her. In other news, Ronda Rousey is pregnant, which means that we probably won't be seeing her for a hot minute, which I'll drink to that, brother.
Unless we're being worked.
Not everything is a work, Marcus.
I mean, my name is Mark.
In addition to that, Terry Funk is recovering after contracting COVID. It seems that he's doing well. He is 76 and reportedly doing fine. And thinks that he got it at church a few weeks ago.
I gotta stop letting people into those.
Churches?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think so too. No more church. I'm just trying to move through some of these pieces quickly so that we can actually talk about the important stuff. Also, speaking of people that are suffering right now, EC3 was hospitalized.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, he's in the hospital with a serious infection, which he neglected to care for, I guess. Like, he said, his Instagram post, short version, an infection I neglected proper care for, put others people's needs before mine. Went straight empath, caught up to me and broke me. Long version is it's extensive. I've been hospitalized 5 days and will need longer. Anyways, I will heal. If you want to help, drop a comment or a thought or affirmation. So he's saying that he neglected to care for an infection. Now, I want you to know if that didn't make sense to you, it's because it didn't make sense to me either.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't care for the infection because he was busy putting other people's needs for his own. Okay. Oh, what?
I also have another piece of news actually that has to do with another hospitalization.
Jesus Christ, sure. The fucking ambulance report real quick.
So Steve McMichael, aka Mongo, He wrestled in the WWF, WCW, and was a ref for a pay-per-view at TNA. But most recently, he's been a coach? No. He's a former football defensive tackle, one-time head coach, and he was just hospitalized for ALS.
That's not the thing you want to be hospitalized for.
Yeah, and apparently he is declining quickly.
Ew.
Yeah, so
Well, my news pieces were like positive at the end, at least. Damn.
gotta bum us out somehow, pick us back up
Thanks.
afterwards. But hopes and prayers for Mongo. Obviously he's more of a football legend than a wrestling legend, but he still existed in the wrestling world.
All right. So I don't know much about this, but apparently WWE has sold the rights to an anime to Crunchyroll.
Yeah, they're partnering with Crunchyroll for an anime that Xavier Woods has confirmed he has no part in. But he gave some hope by saying that he hopes it's like using wrestlers' personas in the anime, like outside of wrestling, and they're just their personas taking part in an anime story, which would be pretty cool. But also if we got something like what was that cartoon? It was about Lucha Libre. Mucha Lucha? Mucha Lucha,
Yeah.
that was it. I hope it's
Yeah.
like that. That'll be awesome.
That would be really cool. All right. So let's talk about the new class of international recruits before we get into what can only be referred to as Trash Bag Gate. The WWE, where to fight it,
Ooh.
announced a brand WWE
WB?
WB Bros. Right. So the WWE announced a class of international performance center recruits. Which obviously Saray is like the number one recruit that we've gotten.
Yeah.
But they're all international. I'm going to attempt to say everybody's name properly. No one's really got a difficult name to say. Which is Sari Fujimura. Actually already debuted on NXT television. That's Saray. I'm an idiot. Saray is obviously the number one. I think this is Sanjana or Sanjana George. He's a 24-year-old from Bangalore, India. Then we've got Jennifer Michelle Cantu Iglesias, who's 23 years old and a powerlifter from Mexico. Hideki Suzuki is joining the coaching staff. He's trained in Catch as Catch Can wrestling, which is very exciting for Elizabeth. And he actually trained under Billy Robinson for kind of taking on his own little wrestling career. We've got Matt Farrelly of Sydney, Australia, who was a former history teacher. And then finally, we've got Stephanie DeLandre of Sydney, Australia, who has a background in dance and soccer. So, looking forward to seeing those people.
Speaking of Australia, Peyton Royce actually filed a trademark for her new name, Cassie Lee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So maybe we'll see her wrestling in another promotion.
So finally, what we're going to talk about is what the fuck happened with Mickie James and what the fuck has been happening. So this all started when Mickie James took a picture of a trash bag with a piece of tape saying with her name on it. inside of a box that was apparently all of her ring gear shipped back to her from the WWE. So, apparently, WWE found out who did it, and then decided to fire a bunch of people in terms of the talent liaison section. And most notable of those people, and the person that a lot of people are saying was probably the reason that this happened, was none other than Mark fucking Carano.
Why has it always got to be a Mark?
Well, it's Mark with a K, so
The worst kind.
I know. It seems like he's the one who at least authorized this. No one's necessarily saying that he is the one exactly who did it, but.
And Maria Kanellis apparently is on Twitter saying that it's not just an individual doing it; it's a system, and that's been like ingrained in that department for a while. And apparently, a lot of people have been receiving trash bags, but Mickie James was the first one to make it public.
Yeah, and good for her. Mickie James made it public, and then Gail Kim and Maria Kanellis both said something happened to us, except years ago. So,
and then
curious.
And then Evilise tried to chime in, and then everyone responded, "Who gives a fuck about you?"
Yeah, that's fair. So now, after Mark Carano was fired, a couple other people were like small names that we didn't really know, but then John Cone was fucking removed from his talent duties as a in the ring though as a referee. Fired from his talent management duties, and then Mick Foley said, "Whoa. John Cone's a sweetie. How would we do that?" And I like to believe that John Cone's not a piece of shit. I'd really like to believe that.
One would hope.
I'm going to. I'm gonna hope that Mick Foley is vouching for the right people. But thanks to Mick Foley, John Cone has his termination from that department was rescinded. So he is still a member of the talent liaison section. Keep saying talent liaison, but I think it's just talent relations. So liaison is just a fun word to say. But I can't believe this. Like, I don't understand how you get away with doing that for that long.
I don't know.
I just.
Also, Triple H tweeted about the firing and everything, saying that the situation's handled or whatever, and then CM Punk responds with a nice little gif because he sees through Triple H's bullshit. Because for those who don't know, Triple H is I think the executive vice president of talent relations, or something big with talent relations. Yeah. So obviously, he would have had to at least known that this was happening.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that I think it was Gail Kim said that it happened to her like 10 years ago. And admittedly, Triple H was not part of higher ups, I don't think, at that point. May have been, actually.
I don't know.
Years ago? 2010?
Yeah.
Maybe. 2011, actually.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, I mean, for him to just simply had to have completely flown under the radar for him seems a little. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. But hopefully things are better. We start to have happier talent now, better treatment. But if what Maria Kanellis is saying is right, then it's going to take a lot more than firing Mark Carano.
Yeah, but I mean, Mark Carano was definitely mean, I've watched enough Total Divas to get a vibe at least as to his personality, which sounds stupid to say, but it's true. He's got a very strong personality in the sense that he looks like a sniveling rat. Like he's got Sid Scala's like stench coming off of him.
At least Sid Scala is in kayfabe.
Sid Scala's also a piece of shit, so.
I also have another little piece of news before we go on too long. Apparently Snoop Dogg was on a podcast. I don't know whose podcast it is besides, what's his name? Jeff Rosenberg? The guy who's on the pre-shows all the time. Is it Jeff Rosenberg? He's one of the hosts of the podcast, and he had Snoop Dogg on. And Snoop said that WWE felt some type of way when he showed up on AEW Dynamite. He got word from them they wanted to push pause in their relationship. That lasted about 2 weeks before they asked Snoop to be a part of their new video game, which I assume the game is WWE 2K22, unless he's talking about Battlegrounds.
It's Snoop Dogg being 2K22.
Probably Sasha's music.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. WWE is fucking weird when it comes to relationships and all that.
I mean, again, if you had just gotten... Oh, wait, are you talking about Mark Carrano still?
Oh.
Oh. Well, I guess my question with Snoop Dogg was more so that Snoop Dogg was just on AEW. It's confusing to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Like, that was what he said in the interview, was because they pushed pause in their relationship because he was on Dynamite. But then they were so quick to bring him back on. But I don't think he's gonna take the deal. I think he's gonna move away from WWE after that incident. So who knows? So yeah, that's the news.
Yes, it is.
Now we get on to the matches and promos, which was a pretty slim episode, it felt like. Slim in terms of stories. We only really had a focus on the Universal Championship. Nothing else really. Maybe the IC title. That was really it. It was like a single promo for the SmackDown Women's Championship, a single promo for the tag team championship.
Yeah.
And then no side stories, if there are any.
I mean, even the IC title stuff, in terms of matches, didn't make sense.
Right.
So, I don't know. I'm going to step out real quick.
Yep.
You try to make this promo last a little while.
I'll try my best. All right, so to start off the episode, of course, we're going to get something with Roman Reigns, but we actually start with Cesaro. So, Cesaro, we immediately start with him standing in the ring. Just literally, screen comes on, we see Cesaro's graphic up on the jumbo, and him standing in the ring and is lonesome. But then, before he can even say anything, Seth Rollins walks out, grinning like a motherfucker. He says, "There he is." Actually, let me sound like Seth Rollins. "There he is, the man of the hour. I came here to congratulate you. You reached and fulfilled your potential because you were in the ring at WrestleMania with me. Where are my thanks?" He says, "This is not over until I say it's over." He then talks about the rain delay, which happened at WrestleMania, delaying the show about 40 minutes. He said the rain delay threw off his game. can't remember if he wrestled night 1 or night 2. I think it was night 1. So the rain delay, that's an excuse. He said on his worst day, you wouldn't be able to beat me. And then Cesaro responds saying, are you having a good day? I'm having a good day. But you know what would make my day better? Is if you stepped in the ring and I beat you. 1-on-1 in a match. And then Jey Uso comes out. Of course he does. He said, you can't beat Roman. You don't even deserve to be in the ring with him. Jey starts to charge at Cesaro. But Seth stops Cesaro from getting in. And we see a little alliance breakout here. Seth kind of comes up with a plan of attack to circle Cesaro. Come at him from both sides. And they're just about ready to pounce. Then Daniel Bryan comes out. And Daniel Bryan joins Cesaro in the ring at his side. And Seth and Jey, disappointed now that the sides have been evened, he starts to leave. Daniel Bryan says Cesaro came out to have a title match with Roman. Seth came out because he was embarrassed Cesaro beat him. And Jey came out because Cesaro beat him last week and is therefore embarrassed. So they both want revenge on Cesaro. And then Daniel Bryan says, I came out here to make sure Cesaro gets what he deserves, as he should. He says, I have an infinite amount of respect for Cesaro. And this is definitely the side of Daniel Bryan that wants to get over as much talent as possible, especially someone as previously underused as Cesaro. Daniel Bryan then says that Roman only got to where he is because of family connections. He said, is Roman gonna come out and accept the challenge? Oh no, that's right. He doesn't like to fight. He doesn't like to wrestle. Because he'd rather have Jey do it for him. And at this point, Seth do it for him. And my God, if we're not praying for at least a 2 out of 3 Shield reunion, that's pretty much what's on our minds right now. But then Roman comes out, calling Daniel Bryan's bluff a little bit. And he said, Daniel Bryan, you were on the bottom, so you're a loser. Or, no, he's talking about when he stacked Edge and Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was on the bottom, he is a loser. Roman was on the top, so he's a winner. Edge, well, he's the cream filling in an Oreo. He's the best part. Yeah. I feel like that analogy doesn't make sense at all. But he says Daniel Bryan is a main event loser. He says they're both main event losers. Even though Cesaro hasn't lost a main event match. Welcome back.
Like row my boat back into frame.
And that's basically where the promo ends. Roman leaves, and then Jey and Seth square off with Cesaro and DB for our first match. Cesaro and DB versus Jey and Seth. Yeah.
Because I have my AirPods in, I can hear you.
I know that.
No matter where I am.
I know.
I just want to say that we got Seth was there, and Roman was here. They never.
Well, Roman left, and Seth is just standing there, like he was literally like doing this gesture towards where Roman left. He's like, "What?"
I feel like I wish One thing I would love is for no matter what like role they're playing, them to just be like still acknowledge the Shield. I would love that.
Yeah.
Even now, it would be funny.
We'll probably get a little acknowledgement sometime soon, maybe at Backlash.
Maybe.
Are they planning a crowd for Backlash? I hope so.
I'm not so sure on that one, Super Chief.
If it's May, if it's mid-May, there'll be a lot more vaccinated people.
Yeah, actually. But we would find out sooner rather than later because they've got to sell the tickets for it.
Yeah, but I think they sold the WrestleMania tickets like just 2 weeks before.
Maybe.
So maybe like within the next week or two we'll hear about it. I hope there's a crowd because after the crowd for WrestleMania, every time seeing the Thunderdome every time is just not right.
I feel like they could even have a crowd at the place they're at now because they're still in like a baseball field.
Like how NXT does it, how it's the small crowd and then the screen still above them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also gotta turn down the lights in the Thunderdome. It is too damn bright in there.
I'd have like a migraine if I were like fucking Pat or Michael.
It's like the one thing that's like the one visible thing that's better about NXT. It's in a pretty much all black space, so that
very soothing.
a lot of contrast with the wrestlers and their gear.
Like
and
WWE
stuff.
night mode.
Yeah, it's easy on the eyes. It's not overwhelming. Turn down your damn lights, WWE. I feel like it's a fucking like big ass house on Christmas.
Also, speaking of things I need to see happen with the WWE, we got Pat McAfee standing again today, and I swear to God, if anybody fucking shames that man standing,
Pat
I have problems.
Pat alone made this SmackDown a million times better than it had any right to be. Because in the long run, this wasn't a great SmackDown.
It was better than Michael. Michael was calling shit left and right wrong, the wrong names.
Yeah, Pat put over a lot of guys today. And he doesn't just get over heels. He gets over everyone.
It was funny because like I didn't notice a difference. I forgot that Pat was there until you pointed him out. And I was like, oh. He's not always been there. Anyways, to start this match, we start with Daniel, Bryan in actually, but Cesaro tagged in right after a takedown. They're against Jay. Good team suplex to Jay, and Cesaro takes Seth off the apron. We get a vertical one-handed suplex to Jay, and then Seth gets him. He and Cesaro are exchanging blows. Seth dodges a charging Cesaro, sending him into the post. We get a sling blade to Cesaro, and then Seth stomps on Cesaro's chest, but it's not the stomp, it's just a stomp.
Mm-hmm.
I made a point of that in my notes, so. Jay gets in after that. We get a back elbow splash to Cesaro in the corner, and then a leg bar. Tags Seth in. Really weird time to get a leg bar locked in. Like, you're gonna have to leave a second. I feel like that's like making yourself a bowl of soup before you have to walk out the door in like 2 minutes. Sit down. But Seth gets him. There's a kick to the jaw of Cesaro into a headlock. Cesaro fights back with some body shots. He swings Seth into the corner, but not the swing. Sends him in. And meets a boot to the face. Seth goes off the top ropes into a backbreaker from Cesaro that looked fucking nasty. Like, it was a mean-looking little backbreaker. Solid on the fucking leg. Waiting for some comment from you, because you actually had a reaction to that.
Which one? Which move?
Backbreaker.
Backbreak.
Seth went off the top rope, and Cesaro grabbed him and brought him down to a backbreaker.
Oh, that was just so damn fluid. I know. I remember exactly what you're
Was.
talking about because it's like, they're both so damn good.
It must be nice. I mean, I guess it must be cool to be in the ring with all four of them because they're all seasoned professionals. Like,
Yeah.
they've been doing this for a while.
Jay's probably the least experienced out of all of them.
Even he's like fucking experienced, which is like the crazy part.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan gets him. Get an enziguri to Daniel from Seth that Michael Cole calls a Pele kick. Two very different things. Then there's a buckle bomb from Rollins to Daniel Bryan. He gets Jay in. Jay hits the frog splash, and Cesaro breaks the cover. He ends up tossed from the ring. There's a boot to the head of Daniel Bryan while he lays on the apron from Seth. Now we get a punch to the back of the neck from Seth to Daniel. Jay gets in. He stomps Daniel for a little bit. We get a Samoan drop to Daniel Bryan. Looked so damn sexy. Very nice Samoan drop. Speaking of fluid.
Yeah, a well-executed Samoan drop is a thing of beauty. Even Tamina and Nia Jax do it really well.
Tamina doesn't my favorite, I think. As far as the women are concerned,
I love what.
Probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, but I love how Nia Jax gives like a comment before doing it. She gives like the bye-bye.
True, it's fair. Tamina does it more fluidly, and Nia like gets the person up there
and
stands for a second.
Roman barely does it though.
Roman doesn't do it that often.
I want to see Dakota Kai do it.
Dakota?
She's Samoan.
Yeah. All right. So Daniel that has right hooked Seth off the apron, but Seth manages to get in. Starts stomping Daniel Bryan. Oh, tits. Sorry. He claims Daniel Bryan has disrespected him. And then throws Daniel into the corner. Daniel moonsaults over Seth off the buckles. Gets Puma tackled by Seth, but there's really no clear winner because they both kind of look worse for wear afterwards. And neither really got like the turn on it that you're supposed to get in order to succeed. Mind you, everyone, this is a very long fucking match. It was incredibly long, like 3 commercial breaks. So Jay gets in, Cesaro gets in. We get a bunch of uppercuts, a big discus lariat to Uso. We get the corkscrew flying uppercut, and then Cesaro goes for the neutralizer, but he can't get it. Gets the pop-up uppercut. I don't know why I said powerbomb. My notes, but he gets the pop-up uppercut to Uso. Seth ends up breaking the cover, and then Daniel Bryan and Seth are fighting ringside. Sorry, in the ring. Daniel throws Seth from the ring, then dives out onto him. Jay sends Cesaro from the ring, goes to dive out onto him, but Cesaro stops him with an uppercut through the ropes. Cesaro then goes off the top rope and meets a super kick from Mr. Uso. He manages to get a hold of himself, tries to go for the sharpshooter post-commercial break. That gets broken up by a super kick from Seth was in at this point. They just kind of rolling through these notes. Seth was in at this point. Cesaro was trying to get a sharpshooter. It's broken up by a super kick from Jay, as Seth looks like he's like fucking writhing in pain. So then goes up top. He's met with an uppercut from Cesaro. Then Seth just says, "I had my fun. I'm leaving." Mutters a bunch of shit about how he doesn't deserve this and like disrespected.
This new Seth just talks under his breath.
I love it. I think it works for him. We get a superplex to Jay, and then Daniel Bryan gets in with a running knee to win. At this point, Jay tries to attack from behind after all is said and done, and Daniel Bryan has a microphone and is trying to annoy Roman into coming out to potentially murder him.
He's saying this while sitting on the turnbuckle too.
Yes. So he's just trying to be annoying. Jay tries to attack Cesaro from behind, but Cesaro drops him. We get the swing. Then we get an uppercut as well to Jay.
Yeah. And Daniel Bryan continues to troll on the mic. Cesaro goes for another swing. Daniel Bryan then says, if you were the head of the table, you would help your cousin. Unless... Are you afraid, Roman? You're afraid because you needed Jay to beat Kevin Owens. You needed Jay to beat me. Or you needed Edge to beat me. But Cesaro can beat Jay. And now you're afraid of Cesaro because he can beat you. And then, did Roman come out at any point?
Roman didn't come out at this point. It does also beg the question of, where the fuck is Edge?
He's taken... look, he's not really full-time. I hate to break it to you.
I won't believe you.
Also, I have some real quick news before we move on to the next promo. Something that came in earlier today. Chelsea Green, apparently since being released, has had a lot of trouble staying in the United States.
Yes, I meant to show this to you just one-on-one, because it was actually, when she talks about in this article about how...
I've got the notes.
Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, she's on a green card now. And she talked to Matt Cardona about it, and she said that he needs to marry him. He needs to marry her to stay in the United States, or get her a job at AEW. Which Matt Cardona has tried already for himself, and that did not work out so well. But Matt Cardona said that he's waiting to be married when there can be a large crowd. But he doesn't realize that the wedding and the reception are two separate events. So just sign the goddamn papers and have the ceremony sometime else.
You can even have, like, the whole fucking to-do with, like, the ceremony and the reception.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. Just get, like, a fucking friend to stand at the top of the aisle and just be like, hey, do you like him enough to marry him? Yes? Great, let's go.
Yeah, the exact quote is, when I was released, a lot of people were like, hey, you're okay, you're a good hustler. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm Canadian. I have to get a visa and a green card. I have to figure out a way to live here. Green said, I was released on Thursday night, and on Friday morning, Matt is on his way to Wisconsin. I texted him saying, we need to get married, so you need to think about when that's happening.
Further on in the article, it's actually quite sweet, because, like, it sounds like he's trying.
If he was trying, he'd do it.
Do you want to go marry Chelsea Green?
Is that a question? Do you not want to marry Chelsea Green?
She's not really my type.
She'd probably break her legs right after we married.
Walking down the aisle, Vince McMahon herself.
Dives down the aisle. Oh, I feel so bad for her. She has had horrible luck.
Really has.
She did something awful in a past life.
You also have to wonder if maybe there's something to the fact that Matt Cardona is her fiance. This happens a lot to people that are married to other people that are not involved in WWE and were at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
Yeah. But moving back to the episode, after that we have Adam Pearce and Sonya backstage. Apollo and Aziz walk up to Adam Pearce. Sonya leaves. And then Apollo is mad. He says the Intercontinental title does not need a rematch. Doesn't. But then Adam Pearce says, Kevin Owens will fight you. He will. It's gonna happen. Deal with it, buddy. Then we get Jay backstage. Jay said he doesn't give a damn about Seth or Cesaro. Said Cesaro is gonna be put down. That's that. And then we move to Nia Jax versus Tamina. Can you not give either of these women a good match? Like, goddamn.
And, like, we're so capable of giving them not only a good match, but a good story. And
yeah. Instead we're getting Reginald.
Shayna, when she was walking down the ramp, did you see her face?
No, I didn't.
Shayna had this fucking look on her face, like, if she ever walked towards me looking like that, I would turn and run in the other direction, because like that's not a good sign. It like looked like she was ready to murder somebody, and like not in like a wrestling like game face kind of way, just like in a I can't stand this fucking storyline kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Nia first drives Tamina into the corner and then splashes her in the opposite corner. Mind you, Reginald is back. Reginald is no longer sick. He has returned. So Tamina then pounces on Nia. Beats the shit out of her. Nia wants a suplex, Tamina wants a suplex, but Nia elbows her. Shayna then manages to stabilize Nia while Nia kind of backs up towards the ropes, and Tamina continues looking for that suplex. We go out of the ring. Tamina drives Nia into the barricade, and then Reggie gets back in women's business because he can't fucking stop himself. Tries to distract the fucking match as a whole, distracts Tamina. Tamina kind of knocks him off the side of the apron, and then kicks Shayna, not hard, just like shoves her with her foot. Shayna's like looking pissed and starts taking her jacket off, and I was like, Shayna, you are not this emotional person. Like, I don't know, this is not your character.
Well,
hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that was where it was going. I thought she was just gonna like get herself involved in the match at hand. But no. She turns on Reginald. And then this distracts Nia. Nia gets fucking super kicked. And Tamina wins.
Need I remind you that this is the only women's match we had tonight?
It's basically like these are the only women that we have to watch, which again, may I say, could be a great fucking match.
Yeah.
But it's not, because we still have to stick a man in there somewhere.
It's not even that's the problem. It's the constant distractions that ruin a perfectly good match up until the end. Like, this match was fine until that happened. Have Shayna beat Reginald's ass. Let that play out. Fine. I also have some more news.
My God.
Apparently, it's regarding Adnan Virk. Apparently, the reason that he has that job is because of Nick Khan. Nick Khan, before he started working at WWE, was Adnan's agent. And Adnan apparently is not a real fan of wrestling. He was on a talk show, the Ryan Russillo show, and Russillo noted that Virk had never talked about wrestling before. And Adnan said that he doesn't want to be disingenuous and tell people that he's a major fan of Raw and SmackDown, who's always watched it. he said he's got 4 kids, always working with baseball, college football, and college basketball, and is approaching wrestling like he would any other broadcast job, and doing research before the broadcast, noting that he looked up stuff on Shayna Baszler by going to WWE.com. Which, Adnan, don't go there for research. Go to Wikipedia.
I don't know. Adnan's still trying to find his spot
Yeah.
and get his stripes.
I mean, his performance so far is exactly what you'd expect from seeing someone who wasn't a major fan thrown in after 2 weeks. So he's doing the best he can.
And again, I mean, he's been a commentator, but I'm gonna open up my second seltzer. Let me just say, hibiscus liqueur.
Not good.
But I think that like there's a lot that you need to know about wrestling to like really give wrestling a flair. I don't know.
A Ric Flair?
I knew you were gonna say that. It really did.
That's interesting.
Thank you. You can move on.
So after that, oh god, what do we have next? We have an interview with Kevin Owens. He said it's been years since he's last had an Intercontinental title match. He said he'll gladly kick Apollo off his perch. Big E then walks in. He says, "You jumped the line. This is my match and my title." Kevin Owens then says, you should get the match. You deserve it. But it's not going to be tonight. Tonight is my match. And they square off a little bit, clearly showing some tension. Kevin Owens is clearly not over how he was when he was fighting Roman, which is good. We're kind of seeing that mental effect still on him. He's dealing with a lot of shit. First Roman, then Sami, now Big E / Apollo. After that, we have Daniel Bryan and Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce says to DB he's going to try to get Cesaro the title match. That's it. And then we have Kevin Owens versus Apollo Cruz for the Intercontinental Championship with Sami Zayn on commentary halfway through this match.
And Davikato, or Commander Aziz, as he's now known, inside.
Right.
Let me just say, I'll reiterate this. Man looks like he's 12.
See, I don't see it. I don't see him being that young.
He's got such a little baby face.
Again, I don't see it.
No. Maybe it's just like the bone structure or something.
Maybe. I just see a very large man.
Oh, I mean, I see that too. I just see a very large 12-year-old. All right, so there's a single leg takedown to really get us started. We get a headlock on Apollo, who breaks free, but Kevin brings him right back into that headlock. There's a shoulder tackle to Kevin that Kevin doesn't sell, and then a drop kick to Apollo that the cameraman did not catch at all. The angle that we got was Apollo and then 2 feet. I was like, Apollo manages to get a side headlock on Kevin. But Kevin gets out of this, sentons onto Apollo, clotheslines Apollo over the top rope out of the ring. Kevin then goes to dive out onto Mr. Apollo, but Apollo hides behind Commander Aziz. Once we get back in the ring, Apollo hits Kevin with a hard snap suplex, starts stomping him. Moonsaults off the apron, but Kevin avoids him as he's ringside. Super kicks Apollo instead. Get back into the ring. There's a swanton onto Apollo. Sami then comes on out. This is when Sami gets over to commentary. He didn't start there.
Right.
Sami comes out. Paul goes up top, and Kevin Owens meets him up there, and Sami's mad because I guess he's having trouble getting distribution for his documentary or something.
Because of Kevin Owens,
no
I guess.
goddamn clue what this man. Oh,
So
well,
he said Kevin
okay.
Owens delayed the movie.
Sami's just mad. Gets some elbows to Apollo, but Apollo hits Kevin Owens with a couple body shots and then headbutts him off the ropes. He manages to jump down onto Kevin, but I believe Kevin avoids. Yeah, Kevin does avoid. That's what my note says there. Dodges Apollo going off the buckles. Brain's really working today. We get a super kick to Apollo on the landing, though, and then a clothesline to Kevin, a step up at Seguri, and a German suplex to Kevin, and then a second one, and then a third one. Not looking so good. Apollo goes to hit Kevin with an elbow, and then a big release German suplex. Sorry. Apollo goes to hit Kevin Owens with an elbow. Kevin Owens hits Apollo with a big release German suplex. And then we get a couple of cannonballs in the corner. There's a failed stunner, but Apollo does a failed suplex. We get an arm drag to Apollo and another failed stunner. Finally, there's a super kick to Apollo and then the pop-up powerbomb, and it's kind of looking like Kevin Owens is about to win this shit. He goes up top. Frog splashes down onto a nearly escaped Apollo. And then Dabba-Kato gets involved, or Commander Aziz.
My bad.
What was that?
Bumped the mic.
What was that?
I hit one of the little elastic things on the mic.
So Apollo ends up rolling up Kevin as he's distracted by Commander Aziz. Because he gets up on the fucking apron, and of course the 7-foot man might stop you in your tracks too. I don't know, personally. We get a stunner to Apollo after the fact, though. Despite the match being over. Stunner to Apollo, and then from Commander Aziz, we get what is now being called the Nigerian Nail, which looks... When Dabba-Kato does it, it looks fucking cool.
Yeah.
I just don't know what it is.
Sick-ass name.
I don't understand the mechanics of the move, I guess.
Right. But you realize 3 of the 4 matches that happened today ended with distractions.
Did not realize that, actually.
The tag match also did, technically, because I think Otis distracted Chad Gable.
Tag match. Oh.
I could have sworn there was something that distracted Chad. And then he got rolled up or something.
No, that is not how the match ended.
Oh well, still dumb.
Okay. Can you bring a little more spice to the podcast, sir?
I'm so over the tag scene. I hate it. WWE hates it. Get rid of it. Make them all singles guys. We
don't want any more tag teams?
We don't. There is not a. There's one, but I guess not anymore. There's no more storylines that are not for a title. Now Kevin Owens and Sami now has the title involved. Everything's for the title now. Make stuff about people's fucking feelings getting hurt. Make people cry. I want to see Drew cry on SmackDown.
I think on SmackDown?
Yeah. I want to see him do it on SmackDown.
Okay. I mean, we've seen Drew cry actually several times.
I want to see Apollo lose the title to Kevin Owens so that Big E and Apollo can fight it out. Mano a mano, not for a title.
I feel like Drew's one of those kinds of guys that would wear like a shirt that says like it's like one of those pink shirts that says "men can wear pink too." I feel like he strikes me as the type of man to do that.
But it would be like a pink shirt that says "men don't cry."
I want that shirt.
Like, it has nothing to do with it being pink, but somehow there is still a relation.
it's just like because the relation is so vague, it seems so out of context. Just like you can imagine it, men don't cry, period. That's it. Maybe like in like a nice script font.
Mm-hmm. And now the Seth and Cesaro feud involves the title as well. Everything involves the goddamn title. Bayley is now in the title scene. Carmella probably will be too. I want to see people's feelings get hurt.
I mean, I get that. I do. I just
I
don't know. I think once they go back to touring, maybe we'll get like something.
I want to see Cesaro fight a McMahon because he bullied him, and then stand up to bullies. I want to see Shinsuke.
Right now, Nia Jax is standing up to bullies, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I want to see Shinsuke. Well, that's on Raw, actually.
Seth and Cesaro was not for a title.
Now it is.
I know.
Like Shinsuke is gone. You could do something with him. That's not for a title. Instead of having a third of the show be dedicated to the Universal title, have some of that go to somebody else. Have Carmella want to fight fucking who else is a woman? Oh, have Carmella have a feud with the Riot Squad. There you go. You got another women feud that's not for a title.
Remember how much fucking work they put into Carmella's debut?
Remember how much work they put into rejoining the Riot Squad? Remember how much work they put into working Shinsuke as a face? Remember?
We're all having fun here.
Remember fun? Okay. Anyway, after... Did we finish the match? Okay. After that, we had an interview with Paul Heyman. He says Kayla is as probing as she is beautiful. And he's hinting at those liked tweets he always has. Where he just likes... Is it porn actresses that he likes?
I can never... Okay, so I never really go on their Twitters to find out.
Why?
But it's... because I'm not interested.
Not even curious? What Paul's into?
No. All I know is that Paul Heyman really likes to actively like the tweets of very attractive women.
Yeah.
Like early 2000s attractive. Like
yeah.
Very much like the kind of poster a 12-year-old boy would want to have in like his bedroom.
Like Divas era.
Yeah.
Yeah. He then says he admires Cesaro. He loves him in a professional way. Thank you for that addendum, Paul. He said Cesaro made himself famous with just one name, like Madonna, Drake, Rihanna. He said Cesaro is my favorite Cesaro. But let's give everyone a spoiler. By the end of the night, everyone in the tribe will hear from their chief, and he shall give you all an answer to the challenge. Yeah, this is Paul being good. Like Paul is doing a great job here. But this promo is kind of needed. But you didn't need Daniel Bryan's promo. You didn't need him going up to Adam Pearce being like, you gonna give that challenge or what? And Adam Pearce is like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. You didn't need... Well, you did kind of need this. The whole Bayley Bianca thing. You didn't need the fucking tag champs. You didn't need them in there. Get them out of there. Take them out. We can't see AJ and Omos for a while. I don't want to see Dirty Dogs. I'd rather see...
To be fair, I don't want to see Dirty Dogs either.
I'd rather see AJ and Omos.
Also, we still would have gotten Montez one way or the other. Oh.
Yeah. Fine with Montez. I like Montez.
Dawkins too.
Dawkins too.
Dolph and Robbie though.
I like them when they're not the tag champs.
I like them when they're just being dicks somewhere else.
Yeah. Be dicks.
I like when they're dicks, but like not valid dicks. Like
Hurt someone's feelings.
what is with you?
I want to see people cry. I miss hurt feelings on wrestling. Roman's doing a good job, but it's for a title. Roman needs to have a feud that's not for a title. Roman needs to say, fuck the title, fight me.
I don't know if I feel safe right now.
I'm so tired. You have no idea.
I understand.
We then have an interview with Apollo. He says Aziz is busy in there cleaning KO's tears. What do you say? Off himself? Off the mat? What do you say?
I was too busy focusing on Megan Morant's horrified face. Focus on anything Apollo was actually saying.
I know Aziz was cleaning KO's tears off of something. I didn't hear what. It sounded like he said the mat, but he was in the locker room.
I have absolutely no clue.
Oh, and there's a hair dangling right in front of my face.
I went so cross-eyed right there. That was funny.
But Apollo then says, "Who knew hope could crack like a throat?" What does that mean? Apollo just like kind of went off here, and I only wrote one note about it, but he just goes off, and I have a hard time understanding his accent, in all honesty, because it's not his real accent, right? Like that's him putting on an accent.
I don't think that's his real accent. I think his regular voice was pre-Nigerian Prince Apollo.
Yeah, like
unless he's like doing a really good job of putting on an American accent
and has been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I guess you get better with practice.
Well, because you do hear him at some points like fade. He fades back and forth
a couple times.
Yeah,
I mean that's gotta be. I feel like unless you're taking like active classes, practice an accent, it's gotta be fucking difficult to maintain an accent consistently.
Yeah.
Oh, kudos to him.
Yeah. But then Apollo's attacked by Big E. The fight's broken up by refs who push Big E out of the area. Commander Aziz then comes out, helps Apollo up, but then stands over Apollo's body as if he wants to do something like kill Big E. It is weird having like this very serious feud and one of the guys' names is Big E. You've got Commander Aziz and then Big E.
Oh, I mean, it works. It works.
Yeah, in execution it works. I'm just saying it's funny. They have Commander Aziz and Big E.
I never thought of it that way until now, and I'm kind of mad that you brought it up. But now I'm gonna think about that.
Because we're gonna have to hear, in coming out is Commander Aziz and his opponent Big E.
It sounds like a cartoon.
It does. It does. It's gonna be it's gonna be the anime they do.
I'm pretty sure Aziz, like, I'm pretty sure it's not spelled like Aziz Ansari's name.
I think it's Azeez.
Yeah.
Because I saw the trademark for it. That's how it's spelled, yeah.
Yeah. Which is not how I would have gone about spelling that. if I were in creative.
I don't know. You don't know who pitched that. Could have been Apollo himself.
If it was Apollo, I'll give him a pass. If it was Dava, I'll give him a pass.
What if it was another Nigerian man in creative?
If it's somebody who knows anything about Nigeria, fine.
What if it was Shane McMahon?
No.
As he's sitting in like the Raw desk. Miriam said that spelling is quite common in South Asia.
Okay, well.
Not Africa, but...
Counts.
Is it? A whole different area.
Who's to say it's not common in also Africa?
True. That's true. I don't know. I'm talking out of my ass. I'm so tired.
You know you are.
I've been rambling this whole time. I'm surprised I've been going along with it.
Because I just don't know how to tell you to shut up. I have the heart for it.
So then, if you want me to ramble, here's the promo. We have a promo for Aleister Black. Remember him? Remember?
God damn it. People are starting to thirst over him with those fucking glasses. And I'm like...
He looks like a librarian.
No, he looks like He looks like I would go over to, like, a party. And he would be there with, like, some of my friends. And he would just be standing in the middle of a circle talking about film.
He also looks like a Brooklyn hipster.
Yeah, that's the type of person I don't want to ever be around.
Like a Williamsburg.
Aleister used to be like not normal, but like a person, and now everything about him is on my fight or flight. Like, do not interact.
He used to look like a martial artist.
Yeah, and now he just looks like he smokes American spirits and has opinions of how women should and should not dress, and he thinks he's woke for it.
That actually kind of works because his whole look now is supposed to be like a priest, like a satanic pastor.
How does that work?
I mean, imagine a church and a man speaking in front of it, but instead of preaching for God, it's preaching for Satan. Same look at the end of the day. It's a different message.
The denim doesn't give me priest.
Is he wearing denim? I didn't notice that.
He was.
Youth pastor.
Not a youth pastor. That's not a youth pastor right there. That is a deep south. I don't feel safe around this man pastor.
Yeah, I think he based his look and gimmick off of, like I said, I think in the last podcast, one of the villains from Far Cry 5, which is like a redneck priest. Which is cool because the whole Far Cry series is amazing villains. So if you're basing it off of that, cool.
The redneck priest that sets off at least 14 red flags in my head.
Well, it's definitely different because I mean the whole thing with Aleister Black is it's like satanic kind of. It's like got that flip on it. But the attitude and the look is the same basically. But we actually got some sick production in this promo. We get like a nice animation. We got a cool book that says The Tales of the Dark Father. Aleister starts giving us a reading of it, and he gives us chapter 1, The Dragon. I didn't write down the whole reading of it. But basically, it's like he's got daddy issues. Talks about the father, and how father wanted him to be a dragon or something. But then realized his father was wrong, it was evil, and he turned against him. Or then he turned into a dragon. I don't know. Somebody turned into a dragon. Legit, yeah. Somebody was supposed to turn into a dragon or did turn into a dragon. It was kind of ridiculous, but the animation was like really good. I don't know. It was like puppet strings on the father too. It's cool.
I, for some reason, didn't pay attention to this at all, and I don't know why.
Wasn't that when you went to the bathroom?
No.
Oh, I don't think you were paying attention from the start of it. Because I had to like tell you, hey, it's Aleister on the screen.
Oh, because we both exchanged a look, and I was like,
Oh. But anyway, he after the reading, he says, "You gawking right now. You are the monsters. I will never help you. You will reveal the rotten nature of man." I like this preachy vibe he's got. I'm interested to see how it conflicts with Seth.
"You think he's going back after Seth?"
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Embrace the vision.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it'd be really cool. We'll get some sick ass promos. Maybe Murphy. Maybe that's where Murphy went to join Aleister. You've got a kick ass faction there.
All right. All right.
And then Aleister and Murphy versus Seth and Roman. That's my dream booking right there.
Okay, I'm actually down with that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Not what we'll get, I'm sure, because it would be cool.
Unless he joins sides with Seth, which wouldn't make sense at all, because they're both heels.
Yeah.
I
don't think they don't have the same vibe.
Unless they turn Seth face, but I don't think they will. Heel Seth has been going too well for them on SmackDown. Anyway, I've been going on too long about this. We then have an interview with the Dirty Dogs. Kayla asks them about a prediction for the tag team match. Dolph says he thinks the Alpha Academy will beat the Mysterios, even though he has so much respect for Rey Mysterio because he's a legend. Dom has some big shoes to fill. But he says it doesn't matter who's next for the Dirty Dogs after he's asked that question. The Street Profits then come in. They say they're next. Dolph says it's take-back season, so take your asses to the back of the line. That was a great line. That was a really good line.
Was it?
Yeah. It was a nice twist. Nice twist of the words.
What is take back season?
The Street Profits say it all the time. It's take back season to take back the title.
Oh.
Yeah. They say it like every promo now.
Just gotta start using her listening ears.
Yeah. Listen to promos. I know it's my job, but
honestly, after doing so much note taking for the matches, like promos come on, I'm just like,
well, good luck next week, because I won't be here on Tuesday.
Stop.
You'll have to do all that.
My stomach doesn't hurt.
All right, so where am I? Bayley then walks in. Tag teams leave. She starts talking about Bianca. She said she removed Bianca's training wheels. But she says Bianca's selfish and spoiled. Montez then walks back in. And Tez is on the phone with Bianca. And he says, "Do you hear that, Bianca? Bayley's got your name in her mouth." Bianca says, "Oh, I'll be right there." And then we get Bianca and Bayley together. Bayley just said she wants to congratulate Bianca for Mania, for her main event. She said she'd be honored to be her first challenger. And then Kayla walks in and starts interviewing Bianca, but Bayley walks back in and just starts laughing. I'm glad heel Bayley hasn't gone away. Because heel Bayley is best Bayley. As long as you stay away from the hugger shit.
Oh my god.
Can't ever return to that ever again.
And terrifying.
Gone too far. On one hand, I really like that they're not just going for the generic rematch between Sasha and Bianca to kind of devalue Bianca's win. But at the same time, throwing Bayley into a match without an announcement on SmackDown to begin with, that sucks. That completely disrespects both of them. Like, at least make it a big announcement on the show. No need to do it on Twitter. It's so dumb.
Now, when I saw that, I was just like, "What a big news!"
Yeah.
And you just announced it like it was like the pre-show match.
Yeah.
Like, for them to announce it on a Friday when we have SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. When you have the verbiage in the promo to make it so that that's the announcement already. When Bayley literally says, "I would be honored to be your first challenger," there's your announcement. Man, the match is better kick ass, which it probably will. Because Bayley and Bianca are really good. Hopefully Sasha doesn't step in. Sasha had her loss in a big way. I don't know. Anyway. And then we have the last match of the night. Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus Alpha Academy.
Lip gloss that I use like makes it feel gritty inside my mouth, which is a weird thing to say. Yeah.
There's crumbs.
Yeah, almost like, like if you're at the beach and like there's a little bit of sand that gets in your food and suddenly there's just sand all in your mouth.
Worst part about being at the beach.
Yeah. I don't like eating at the beach.
Oh, eating at the beach is so much fun though.
No, it makes my stomach hurt for some reason. I can't eat anything on the beach. Eat on the beach, my stomach falls apart.
Like seasickness? Except you're not in the sea?
No, I don't know what I think it might be the heat, like this just the warmth, because usually you're at the beach in the summer.
Probably the ocean air. The humidity.
Maybe. Yeah. It's something just it's like my body knows. It's like, oh, we're at the beach. We can't be doing this.
Salty sea air. Yo ho, maybe.
One thing I do miss, nothing better than getting like an insulated like water bottle, going to the beach with ice cold water and like burning yourself up in the sun and then going to take a sip and you're just like, oh my fucking God. I'm replenished.
Do you want to talk about the match?
Yes.
I thought I was going on.
I got a full night's sleep, so I don't know why this is happening to me. So we started Dominic versus Chad. Otis asks to be tagged in. He gets his way. We get a huge shoulder tackle and then a vicious spinebuster to Dominic. Dominic then avoids the attempted splash, but still gets fucking clotheslined. Otis goes up top and Rey pulls Dominic out of the ring. Otis then gets down, clotheslines both of them ringside. Chad takes on Rey ringside as well. We have Chad versus Dominic post-commercial break. Dominic rolls Gable up, but gets hit by the butterfly suplex from Chad. Otis gets in, starts using Dominic as his own punching bag. We get a spinebuster to Dom, and then an elbow drop on the youngest Mysterio. The younger Mysterio, I guess. He's not the youngest. That's Leah. What's her? What's that fucking name?
What?
I mentioned Leah.
Cool.
Oh, we're playing this game.
Aaliyah on NXT?
Yeah, exactly. Horse girl.
Horse girl.
So Otis spears Dominic in the corner. Chad gets in, does the same shit. Otis gets back in, splashes Dom in the corner. We get Chad back in. He gets an arm sub on Dominic and a huge belly-to-belly suplex, as well as the second one, and goes for the third, but Dominic lands on his feet this time. He hangs Gable up on the top rope and then gets his father in. Pa Mysterio kicks Chad under the jaw. We get a nice little head scissors, and then he whips Chad down to the mat with a sunset flip. Then sends Chad into the post. Both men go up top. Get a slightly botched Hurricane Rana to Chad. Dominic gets back in. Cable is sent to the apron, and Ray slides out, sending Chad face first into the apron. Get a sliding sunset flip into the barricade from fucking Dominic. That is one name already. Then we get Chad tripped into the ropes. Dominic dives out onto Otis, gets caught, gets to his feet, pushes Otis. Otis runs at him. Dominic dodges him, sending him into the announce desk. Then we get a 619 to Chad from Ray and a frog splash for the Mysterios to win this match, shockingly, without any real tomfoolery.
Yeah. Still don't like it. Just give a little preview of Raw next week. We're once again getting Drew and Braun versus Mason T-Bar.
Okay, calm down. I'm actually excited for that.
Just doesn't make sense why Braun would team up with Drew. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't, but you know what I'm excited for?
Mason T-Bar.
Mason T-Bar.
I mean, surprise Dio and surprise Dijak.
Dio took that mask off, and suddenly I was like, "Oh my god, it's been so long."
And then,
Two handsome devils.
as WWE stated on Twitter, the almighty WWE champion returns to the red brand as if he's been gone more than 1 week. He was.
They're so desperate for like a big return that they're just making anything now.
He was gone for 1 week. Anyway, so after that, we get our closer promo. Before anyone even leaves the ring, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan come out, and now they're waiting in the ring, awaiting Roman. Cesaro says, "You can come out here and give an answer, or we could go back there and get an answer." Roman reigns and comes out with Paul and Jay. Roman gets in Cesaro's face and says, "You're gonna challenge me? Who are you? You don't deserve it. You didn't earn it. My answer is no. My answer will always be no. Because you will never be on my level. The Universal Champ issues the challenges around here." He turns. "That challenge goes to you, Daniel Bryan." He said he's going to give one more shot to Daniel Bryan next week. And then Cesaro turns to DB and says, "You have to take it. You have to accept." And I love this camaraderie between them. Because this is like genuine camaraderie. This isn't like, "Oh, but I want the title first. No, I deserve it." No, this is like, "No, you should have this title match. You can't say no to this." And it's not like they're a tag team or anything, so it's not forced. But Roman then said, "If you lose," no, when you lose, "I never want to see you again. I never want to see you on Smackdown ever again. Don't even show up." So, and Daniel Bryan accepts. And so next week, we will be having a Universal Championship match between Roman and Daniel Bryan, where if Daniel loses, he is barred from SmackDown. They made that official announcement on commentary that he is barred from SmackDown if he loses. Man, that's depressing.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're not accidentally, but like we're unknowingly watching Daniel Bryan's retirement match.
Yeah, kind of like Kurt Angle's against Corbin.
Except better than that.
Yeah.
Corbin deserved so much better than backlash he got for that match.
Yeah. Because that's what Kurt Angle wanted. Kurt Angle wanted Corbin to get over like that as a heel.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's gonna make me sad if we don't see Daniel Bryan ever again. Feels like one of the first guys we really loved.
It was heartbreaking hearing what he said about how just didn't feel any connection.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania, and I was like, but that was like the time you were supposed to feel the connection because there were like fans.
Didn't he say it should have been Edge and Roman in a singles match?
Well, he said that he was trying his hardest to get out of being part of the match.
Yeah.
Which sucks because a lot of people didn't want him in that match, and now, like, well, okay. He didn't want to be in that match.
It's because they had to get Roman over as even more of a heel. Stack him.
Yep.
Man. And it's only gonna suck for Roman because he will forever, like, if Daniel Bryan loses, he will forever be the guy that retired Daniel Bryan. But at least Daniel Bryan, if he loses, will go down putting over Cesaro in a massive way somehow. Because that is his whole goal right now. But
I'm so nervous that we're gonna get that match, and then like if Daniel Bryan loses, he's gonna get a microphone afterwards and be like, "Well, y'all," and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck,
yeah,
my birthday twin."
Yeah, I don't know.
What am I gonna do when I don't have a birthday twin on TV anymore?
We've known this for a while. Like, ever since he was talking about how, like, he can't really juggle being a full-time wrestler anymore. Since he's a full-time father.
Yeah.
But...
And if he were to go back to just being a father, that would mean that maybe Brie would be able to come back as a wrestler again.
Maybe.
That seems like something that the Bella twins are both interested in.
Hopefully. But still, I mean, knowing that that's a possibility, it's still heartbreaking. But we have to move on to our bests of the night.
Yes, we do. And let me get that sign up there.
And this is going to be a pain for me to get through. But we'll try.
I think I know. You're going to go for most of them.
So, promo of the night. Start off with Cesaro standing in the ring, and eventually it becoming Cesaro, Seth, Jay, and Daniel Bryan. This was a really good interaction. I loved everything that happened here. Everything from Seth's reaction to Roman leaving to Cesaro, kind of Cesaro's bond with Daniel Bryan being shown. Oh, man. Daniel Bryan's words when he said there's nobody I would rather stand with in this fight than Cesaro. Those are some last words. Oh, those are some last words. He knows it's coming. Unless he wins. Unless he wins against Roman next week and then Cesaro has that match against him and takes it off of him and that's his retirement match. Yeah, and I know how they could do that match. Like, Daniel Bryan's like, you deserve this so much more than I do. Let's have a match at WWE or at WrestleMania Backlash.
Stop.
And then that's how we get Daniel Bryan's retirement on a pay-per-view. Because they wouldn't do that in a regular episode. Oh, man, it's just depressing to think about. But yeah, that promo was great. There's some really good stuff from every wrestler. Everyone put up a great performance. Then we had Adam Pearce and Sonya featuring Apollo and Aziz. Apollo's, he's trying. He's doing some good work. Aziz is just there. This was fine. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the IC title scene right now. But then we got Jay backstage. There was no need for this promo. There was no need. You could replace this with something else. Then we had an interview with Kevin Owens. That was... Oh, or Big E steps in. That was a good face-off between them. Two people who were considered faces. This is how you do a face versus face thing. It's really well done. Then we had Daniel Bryan and Adam Pearce. Again, completely unnecessary. Paul Heyman interview. He's got to stop being like trying to be so poetic. But this was good. This was really good. Doing. Okay. Then we had an interview with Apollo that had him attacked by Big E. Fine. The Aleister Black promo was surprising, but I wish they hadn't said, and now here's something from Aleister Black. And we just had fade to Aleister Black. That would have been so much better. They gotta stop with these spoilers in the episode.
Yeah. I thought that they would do that too. Like, I thought that like we'd just be watching it and all of a sudden it would just pop up. I don't know why they were like, and now a message from Aleister Black. It's like, well, no. You don't get to just weasel that shit in there all of a sudden.
Yeah.
This man has been missing.
It's like they don't realize how big of a return Aleister Black coming back is.
Especially for like the sweet sport of wrestling.
Yeah. And in a whole new character too. But that was a really well done promo despite the spoiler. The production behind it was fantastic. The animation, all that, great stuff. Then we had the Dirty Dogs interview, which led to Bayley and Bianca. That was fine stuff. You didn't need the whole Dirty Dogs bit. Just having Bayley and Bianca and Montez was great. Then we had the finisher promo with Cesaro and Daniel Bryan waiting for Roman's answer. Fine. A really shocking end. A really shocking end. With the potential of this being Daniel Bryan's final match. I think Daniel Bryan can win it. Because he's got Cesaro on his side. Cesaro can handle Jay. Let Daniel Bryan just have a singles match. Beat Roman because he's made Roman tap already. I think it's possible. But I'm definitely gonna give it to the first promo. The one with Seth. Seth's reaction of just...
Yeah. Okay. Just in case those were Daniel's like last words, essentially.
Yeah. And
what is the point of giving me a birthday twin if you're gonna take him away from me?
I mean, he's not dying.
Yeah, but like...
He'll probably still be on Total Bellas.
Yeah, because I watched that.
I mean, maybe you should.
Oh.
You want to see DB in his quote-unquote natural environment.
Oh, because the Bella Twins give me anxiety. About fitness so much, and it makes me like stressed out.
Alright, so Wrestler of the Night. We started off with Cesaro and Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. I picked Cesaro. Cesaro fucking killed it. Killed it. Everything from that backbreaker to that corkscrew flying uppercut. He was awesome. He was so good in this match. Then after that we had Nia Jax versus Tamina. I picked Tamina because Tamina looked mean. She looked ferocious. She looked like she cared about the match. What are you doing?
You see how like it turns my... It goes like red.
Yeah, I think it's because when you lift your arms, the majority of the frame is blue, and so it counteracts that by adjusting the white balance to make it more red. And right now, there's less blue, so it adjusts it by giving more blue.
Didn't know anything about that. Thank you.
That's how automatic white
I thought
balance
my eyes were
works.
fucked up.
All right. Anyway, then we had Kevin Owens versus Apollo Cruz. I picked Kevin Owens. Nobody was super impressive in this match. This match
Paolo
was,
didn't get to shine, and Paolo, when he shines, dude, he sparkles.
yeah, but this match was destined to just be a distraction win from the get go, whether it was Big E or Aziz distracting, or now Sami. And then after that we have the tag team match, Mysterios versus Alpha Academy. Like Chad Gable. I don't know why. Is that Chad or Ray? Ray had a cool move, didn't he? I think he did. I don't know. Might be mixing it up with last
Dominic
week.
did the best, honestly.
Dom?
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody got me excited in this match.
Sorry.
But my pick for match or wrestler of the night, Cesaro. It's always Cesaro. Can't remember the last time it wasn't Cesaro.
He's just fucking fun to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
Makes matches. I mean, this was a good match to begin with, but he makes matches that like even I might not be interested in. Like he makes them interesting. And
Yeah.
that's kind of why I miss him and Shinsuke in the tag scene.
Mm-hmm.
They were fun to watch.
And he's a big guy, but he's not slow. He's very fast.
He's very nimble.
He's like as fast as Corbin, but like much more muscular.
Yeah.
A lot more
He's-
power.
He has no business coming out here looking the way he fucking does. I swear to God.
All right, so match of the night now. So again, we started off with Cesaro and Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. Really fun match that had a clean finish. And Seth ranting to himself on the sidelines. It had everything. Everything you want. You had Cesaro popping off. You had Daniel Bryan looking great. Points in the match that actually mattered, like that buckle bomb, had a lasting effect in the match, and Pat McAfee made it appear so. Pat had so much on commentary.
He's a great commentator.
And then we had Nia Jax versus Tamina, which would have been a great match. Would have been fine. Would have been at least a B+. But because of Reginald, because of I can't even blame Shayna that much. Because of Nia, dropped down to a D. Sucked. So much potential. You got these two powerhouses coming at each other. Family members, relatives, former tag team members. Now what? Alright, so after that we had Kevin Owens versus Paolo Cruz, which was a really fun match. But like I said, it was destined to fail. It was destined to be a distraction win. Destined Kevin to lose. Who knows why Sami was out there? Who knows why Kevin went for the title? I mean, it makes sense why Kevin goes for the title. Kind of does. Has to de-rank himself after going for the Universal title. Failing so much. That was fine. Fine match. And then we had the tag team match. Mysterios versus Alpha Academy, which was really fun. Really fun match. Just didn't click for me. I didn't like it. There's the bad thing is there's no good reason why this match why I don't like this match. I just didn't. I think the tag scene has just soured me so much that I can't see any match unless it's like extraordinary. I can't see it being good. Like you got to throw something in there to make it good again. Make tag teams great again.
Okay, nope.
Sorry.
Going down that road today.
Sorry. Well, there was it was Darren Young's song, Darren Young's Walkout, which has like a voiceover that says, "I want to make Darren Young great again." It's supposed to sound like Trump, I think.
I
don't know.
fucking
I don't even know what his gimmick was. He was before we started watching. I don't know what he's
Very
up to right now.
Nothing good.
Yeah, it was weird. A weird time. Probably like 4 years ago. But I'm going with Cesaro, Daniel Bryan versus Jay and Seth. That was such a fun match.
I have a funny joke for you.
Oh, is that why you've been smiling this whole time? I thought you just liked looking at me.
Too, but I've got a funny joke for you.
Okay.
What do you call a potato that talks about sports in real time?
A potato that talks about sports in real time? Why are you shaking?
It's funny, and I can't wait to tell you the punchline.
What do you call it?
A commentator.
All right, I'm ending the podcast. To run it back, our promo of the night, Daniel Bryan sides with Cesaro. Wrestler of the night, Cesaro. Match of the night, Cesaro and Daniel Bryan versus Jey Uso and Seth Rollins. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. We've noticed that most of the people watching this are not following or even subscribed. And if you subscribe, you get so many benefits. Like, you get to use the amazing emotes. Like, we have a Dexter Loomis
Don't
emote.
sell us out like this.
We have a Dexter Loomis emote. We have an emote with my feet. My feet is an emote. And you flexing your strong muscles in emote. And if you subscribe, you can get access to all of that. And also, as a subscriber, you can watch the podcasts over as soon as they're done. You don't need to wait until they're uploaded to YouTube, because sometimes they take my time. Accidentally. I don't do it on purpose. Because all that goes right up Twitch. But you gotta be a subscriber to watch it. And also, you don't get ads. Which I don't know if there are even any ads on the podcast. I don't think there are.
Not during the middle of the podcast, but there are when you tune in.
Yeah. Which you won't get if you're a subscriber. But that's a good argument to subscribe, even just for the emotes alone.
If you're done shilling us out here,
Not selling us
you
out.
admit that my joke was funny.
I refuse.
Please?
But it's the best joke when I refuse to admit it's funny. It's because it's so corny.
There's a joke to be found in there too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find it later for the next podcast.
All right. Follow, subscribe. Our Twitter is @Pinfall Podcast. Our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. All of our previous podcasts are uploaded there. My Twitter is @TheMarkCameron. Liz is @ElizaEline23. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back on Monday. I don't know if I mentioned, but I'm not going to be on the Tuesday podcast. I'm going to be going upstate for a job overnight.
I'm gonna be all alone doing the podcast, so please join us.
I might even miss NXT. I hope I don't, but I might.
Please join us. Join me. I'm not fond of doing the podcast alone. It stresses me out because I don't have anyone to bounce off of. So yeah, it'll be a fun time.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Monday.